Good afternoon, everybody. Microphone check. Screen check. Looks like everything's working correctly here. Good, good. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully everyone has had a great day so far. Coming into a Friday the 13th, I feel like I should be a little bit concerned. Overall, movement is, pretty sideways, all things considered. We had a nice move to the upside early in the day with a perfect 3 measured leg to the upside that led into then a sell back lower all the way back down to a new low. And then after the new low was made, it's been rotating all the way back up again. And it's kind of looking like they want the higher high. So around those 940s is kind of that zone of interest. If we can go that far. Still got plenty of time to get there, but the market's definitely coming in a little bit different. Starting to shift gears off of the lows. Could be looking for maybe an upward channel. Kind of gross looking at the top. Kind of, sort of. I mean, if anything, I'd rather look at the wedge. Price continuing to cycle off of the settlement as well. Lots of bouncing around that settlement. Big pop higher. Lots of sellers resting up in the 908s. Big pullback back down again. Buyers are trying to this looks like it might be a washout, trying to fill in that 97 quarter. It's just, oh man, really awkward location. Kind of in the middle of the range. I'd rather see it go a little bit lower. Or stay up. That's always the other option. Also kind of have a little bit of a megaphone going on. Got lower lows and higher highs. Weird kind of stretch across here. Not really hearing anything going on right now either, so it's kind of hanging out going into the weekend. Oops, almost forgot the clock. There we go. Some selling volume coming in, just a little. Nice bit of sideways action. Now it's more just a matter of seeing which way the market wants to get out of here. I mean, we've got this... I mean, we're just stuck in this megaphone. Up, down, one way or the other. Nice bull bar to the upside. Buyers trying to hold the market back up. Still really sideways here. They're having a heck of a time getting something going. Market's just kind of hanging out, going a little bit sideways. Seems like in terms of the, from the volume perspective, the majority of the volume's kind of hanging out below and above. Nobody's really looking to do anything where we are right now. Some volume stepping up at 2.5. The rest of it's at 895. Still pretty calm and quiet. There's just not much going on right now. Buyers trying to step up to the plate here. Not really a whole lot of conviction one way or another yet, huh? Bears starting to slide back down a little bit here. Ooh, maybe a trap. They're really kind of fighting over over this whole area. Today was just a totally middle-weighted POC type day. It's just one giant curve of volume. Not been a whole lot going on from the perspective of movement, at least. Nice potential bull attempt for the buyers to try to drive it back up, though. Or not. Just kidding. Look at the closes and opens here. The closes and opens are wedging. The wicks are just kind of hanging more sideways. Attempting to break out of the lows of the wedge. An immediate failure is going to be a pretty big clue. Ooh, sellers pushing right back down again. Nice pressure from the sellers. Floating around the lows of the range here, but it's not really, it's not giving a whole lot to work with yet. Weak bull bar trying to get back up. Strong bull bar follow through though. Really strong follow through. Now, buyers may be looking to pick up a bit of a pullback towards like the 95s, but it's also holding the inside of resistance. So, I mean, really the big zone is coming back down and retesting here. 94 quarter or so. We have weak lower highs. Inside bear bar. I like this 94 quarter area. But if they are going to drive through, something to consider as well could possibly be that 3-press wedge. We've already kind of had it, which is why I'm a little bit more aggressive, but if they start getting too bullish, we might not have another shot. That bull bar doesn't prove anything. Gee, thanks. Not a whole lot of help on that one. Buyers trying to get a breakout move back up. So far, it's not looking so great. Doesn't look like I'm going to get that pullback that I want either, huh? Fine. I'll see if we can get a little bit of a dip back, though. I do like the 98s. Buyers are trying to get above the high of this wedge. Still having a little bit of a hard time. Ooh, okay. Quick little snapback and the thing jerked right back up again. Well, I don't think I'm going to get my fill at 98 anymore, huh? Wow. Thing just shot through the top. Buyers might try to come in still, but it's going to have to be a little bit lower, 99 quarter. Honestly, I would love to see like a 95 quarter. 95 quarter would be incredible. That allows a risk reward to be really, really good. I mean, realistically, it shouldn't break down much through the bottom. So, I mean, you're risking 15 ticks to make 30. Up at 275. And that's just like, I mean, 150 is even the first height. That's just a really good reward versus risk. Tested the entry, but I didn't get a fill. Well, that's not nice. Well, I'll cancel. You can't say I didn't try, right? I mean, we hit it, we bounced, we got everything to set up the way that I wanted it to, but I didn't get a fill. Fair enough. See if we can show a little bit more support here. I still like this 95 quarter area, but I've got to see some proof now. We're seeing some volume come in down here, and we're seeing bulls trying to get some support, but we just trapped the highs with a lower high. If this is going to roll over, this is going to be where it does it. So we're going to have to see some pretty good strength. More sellers resting, or buyers rather, resting at 92. Flushed right through. Big dunk to the downside. A lot of buyers are getting crapped on here with this move. That depends on what this bull bar does, though. Whoa. Just kidding, maybe? Just really haven't seen anything good enough to sink my teeth into yet. Man, at first I wanted the short, but then the bulls came in with that bull bar. Like, what? Okay. I can't fight against that one. Now, if the bulls fail here and they start rolling back over, different story. That's really good context for a continuation to the downside. This is kind of like the bulls' last defense. They're putting up this big brick wall and basically just saying, try me. So far, they're winning. Bulls are continuing to win, too. Very strong bull pop to the upside. A strong bear bar off the top could be an indication that it's, I mean, bulls just getting out of break even and we see it roll all the way back over again. So I don't really want to see that strong of a bear bar up here. Doji, weak bull bar, any of those are fine. Buyers will be looking to see if they can grab a dip 97 quarter. Swept in for the longs. Upside objective is going to be a little bit further down. That thing dropped a lot further. I don't necessarily mind 95 either. Got to get these a little closer so I can see what's going on. Initial upside objective, since we're dealing with the 900s, it's going to be a little bit tough to want to fight against that. So I'm okay with like the 99 halves. That's fine. But beyond that, then looking for a continuation play back to the upside. I think realistically 902 should be good, but given the bullish momentum here, it could jump. So I would like to see if they can pop above it and then lock a stop into 902 instead, just to kind of trail along with it, and then see if we can get a little bit more out of it. Now, knowing how the NASDAQ's been going today, it's going to come back, take me out of break even, and then go up 600 ticks. But, c'est la vie, right? NASDAQ's been a vindictive thing today. Maybe it's just me. Hopefully you guys haven't been experiencing that. A little bit more bullish continuation. All right, stop is in. Oh, nope, immediately taken out. So that was the target area. I wanted to see if they could punch through there. But as soon as they hit up there, you'll notice it was just big blocks of volume coming in. There's too much profit taking going on up there. So it's locked, stop in fast, see if they can get a run through. And if they can't, I'm not about to hang out. Now, if you've got more contracts, the next objectives are up at like 907 quarter. But for me, at least, I was only able to find 2. Tried to get 4, but the moves went so fast I wasn't able to get the other batch. Nice bullish continuation. Buyers still coming in. It's forcing buyers to buy really high. I'll buy into it, but I want to see this pop. It's got to rifle out of here. I mean, I guess, but I'll jump out. We got that pot, but it only went like 10 ticks and then just fell on its face. They hit that wall. I was hoping that it was a probe for another push up, so I tried holding in a little bit longer, but it just kept backing up. Fine. Nice little breakout pullback of that earlier wedge. The wedge did widen up a little bit, but I mean, if you remember, we were looking at the bodies, and that was the first time that the bodies were really able to get out of that. Now we're breaking up. Buyers are trying to hold here. Ooh, it's getting a little bit harder for them to hold, though. That'll make it easier. Really nice bull bar. Aggressive buyers will buy up here for a continuation. Just a little bit too far up for my liking. Sometimes the market doesn't give you a choice, though. Strong bull follow through. That's going to get buyers interested. I'll look for a continuation play to the upside. I've got to see it blow off the top, though. Get above those 1250s. Nice little flush back for a possible add. I missed it. Didn't get filled. See if we can get a continuation break above 1250s. I want to see it like actually break, though, right? Not just like poke its head above it. Lots of stops got hit. There we go. Nice. Very good push to the upside. Now we've got a break. Still only like 10 ticks, but not the volatility that we're used to, that's for sure. Where's the 400 tick moves? Buyers trying to get a little more continuation to the upside. Not really getting a whole lot accomplished one way or the other for the sellers. The bulls are the ones that are trying to take over now. Big reversal off the bottom. It was all sparked by that gigantic bull bar down there too. Bulls jumping back up again. Wow. Bulls trying to get a little bit more continuation to the upside here, but getting a little bit stuck. Big seller sitting up there at 920. Buyers would love a pullback. Big thing up here is just not wanting to buy this far up. Gotta come back just a little bit further here. Revert to the mean. Ooh, yeah, nice. I wanted a little bit more than that. See if they can get a little bit of a washout down. Zone of support realistically is going to be in like the 7 halves. Or right here. Fair enough. Big bull bar. Buyers coming back in for a continuation push to the upside. Good follow through. Oh, until they got the high. They found that seller at 920, huh? Found him. Jeez, I think I whacked. They're still waiting there. Offloaded a lot of contracts on 920, but they're still waiting. Sellers really wanted that bear bar to continue back to the downside, and a failure to do that is that's a pretty big problem. Couple seconds until we get into 330. Lots of volume stepped up to the plate. Oh, whoa, man, that's a heavy bear bar. What the market does in response to that bear bar is going to be a pretty big clue. Oh? Oh, okay, it's coming back to... Oh. Which way? Strong bull bar. I like that for a pop. I really like that for a pop. Targets out on that pop, looking for a secondary move back up towards the highs. Beautiful blow off. We finally got the breakout move. Hot diggity. Let's get that stop a moving. Keep going, NASDAQ. You got the top of that channel. Right there, that blue line. Looks pretty, doesn't it? You should totally go up and say hi. There you go. There you go. I don't want this to go bearish anymore. At all. Anymore. Hitting major objectives. Stop is in real tight. The rest is just icing on the cake if it wants to go through. Gotta love icing on the cake. There we go. Keep on chugging. Ah, taken out. Taken out on that little dip. Beautiful jump to the upside. That's what we're looking for. Finally. Ooh, it's still going. Oh, there's the extra icing. Beautiful jump. Great jump to the upside. A lot of buyers will have taken profit on that move. It wouldn't be a surprise at all to see this pull back a little bit harder this time. Yep. Bears pulling back a little bit further. This is the, I mean, again, this is the expected move. You expect to see it pull back a little bit further because everybody just got that extra sauce, you know? Now, this is a break above the highs, the previous highs. So, I mean, this is a pretty big zone of resistance up here. Not to mention all the profit taking and everything else going on up here. Might not be done yet, but I don't. Bulls might be interested in that, I guess. It's a second long, but we just saw all of that profit taking. It's going to be really tough for them to get another drive up with some aggression. It's possible, though. This is that hesitation. Again, it might still go higher, but you can see all the failures to launch. Really nice bull bar back up. That might get buyers back interested again, but it's got to go above. An engulfing continuation to be at 34. Not interested. Doesn't trigger. I needed that to be a bull engulfing or trigger the bull bar, right? That's what needed to happen there, and it couldn't get the job done. Sellers may start selling underneath this bear bar, assuming that the top is closer to being in. But it's still really high and super early for sellers to be trying anything. At least trying anything at the bottom of a swing. At the bottom of a swing, it's a little bit harder to get that going, you know? Really nice bull bar again. They might try to get that jump going above those highs. I'm going to look to pick up this pullback for a continuation jump to the upside. I like this for a bullish continuation. And it looks good. Weak bear bar doesn't prove anything, really. Nice pop to the upside. Looking for the second contract next. Break above back the highs. That was some form of English. I'm sure it was. I don't have time to English right now. Break even on the stop. I'm not willing to let that turn into a loss anymore. Bear bar back down and taken out. Okay. Fair enough. Well, scalp. That was about it. Tried to get something going there, but it just didn't want to follow through. Of course, the way that today's been going, now that I'm out of the way, this is when it jumps up 60 ticks. So... This is one of those days, yeah. Really weak bull bar. Right at the end of that candle, there was a big chunk of volume that came in, too. Bulls breaking back above the highs. It's going to be a lot of targets getting filled up here. Remember, all the buyers who've been buying in along the way weren't necessarily convinced that it was going to go back up again. And now that it's finally made it back up here after that huge blow-off, don't expect it to go another 70 ticks through the top. It might, but there's a lot of people looking to take profit up here. Big seller resting at the 40s, and a big pop through the high, too. There's that extra icing on the cake. Now let's see what traders do with it. Getting into the end of the day, end of the week. A little bit of time left. It's been pressuring higher ever since like 317. And now we wait. See if anything wants to happen here. Got some good continuation along the way. It's just a matter of seeing if they want to actually follow this through or not. What a shock. We're seeing some bears off the highs. Who would have guessed? Whoa. Bulls keeping it going back to the upside again, buying off the moving average, but not closing very strong. Weak bull bar is not going to prove anything. Still got a little bit of time. We got about 20 minutes left. If it starts slowing down too much, though, then, you know, it's been a great day so far. Been a great week, all things considered. Bulls continuing back to the upside and trying to get a little bit more movement, but failing at the top this time around. Look at the sellers resting up at 43. Lots of profit taking going on. A little bit range bound, a little bit stuck, not a whole lot going on yet. Lots of profit taking going up at the highs. 41's next big block of sellers waiting. They're out of the way. Whoa, did you see that wall of orders at the high? Holy crap. This is just a brick wall up here. Like, yes, please. More profit taking going in above the highs. More big selling pressure stepping up towards the highs. Oh, man. They just hit a wall of orders there. Look at that. Just smashed into it. If you get that one off the screen. It's a big order that jumped in right there. They're jumping back up. Sellers resting above those highs at 50. Obviously, I'm not looking to short those kinds of areas. Those are big areas of interest if you're still long from earlier, where people are going to be taking profit. See if they can keep breaking above these highs. We just filled a big block seller at 50. And remember, just because I'm saying seller doesn't mean that it's like a seller initiating a short. That could be a buyer taking profit, right? Either way, sell order is a sell order. Bulls continuing to get this drive to the upside. The buyers can get a little bit of a washout or something back down towards like the 37s. That might be pretty nice. But I would want to see it flush there pretty quick. I don't want it to like grind down there, you know? Bulls still trying to ramp back higher. Not getting that dip. Have to give it a bit more time. Those are some heavy bear bars off the top. Okay. Those bears might find some follow through with candles that look like that. back towards the moving average. Again, these 37s-ish in that area is a zone of interest if we're going to get a little bit of a knockback for buyers to buy into. Two big wicks on the bottom of that last two bear bars. We got that final 15 minutes. That's a very nice bull bar. There's a seller just waiting above that bull bar too at 45. Buyers waiting for those 40s, getting a little bit of a pullback. Not getting it, though. I mean, you could smell that trap from a mile away, right? Like, that's not a good signal. No. Nice flush to the downside. I want to see a little bit more oomph. I was hoping it could push down just a bit harder than that. That doesn't prove that much. I don't know. It could have been better. I don't know. Just not impressed. Falling resistance seems to be continuing to drive down with price. Buyers resting underneath at 36 and sellers above at 40. Seems like the market's trying to figure out what it wants to do here. Now we're starting to get a little bit of a washout. I like that for a washout play and a bounce back up to see if we can get that continuation pop back up towards like the 37s plus. There we go. Nice. Beautiful target back to the upside. Nice jump to the upside. Little washout for a quick pop higher. Nothing too crazy. Just quick scalps. I mean, it's obvious, like the context that we've been building up this entire afternoon on how a lot of buyers are taking profit up here. And that's a big clue because I don't want to be net long when everybody's taking profit. That's called bag holding. Right? So I don't mind taking longs, right? I don't mind buying into the dips. I don't mind buying when there's support. 10 minutes too, by the way. That's what this volatility is. But at the same time, we have to be realistic, right? If we're taking profit and buyers are pulling back from a major area of interest that, you know, is obviously showing volume, I don't really want to buy too high. Very nice bull jump to the upside maybe now. Depends on where that closes. Nope. Ooh, nice deep wick on that candle, and it goes all the way back up to the highs. That's a very bullish indication. Well, not when it closes like that, though. that reeled it back a little bit. Try again, NASDAQ. False start. Bear bar to the downside. Sellers might be using this as an opportunity to try to push the market down. Still pretty early, but we can see all those failures. I can't really argue with the shorts. Nice secondary bear bar to the downside. Sellers pushing right back down again. Oh, when did that candle turn into a bull bar? What happened? Golly gee willikers, Batman. That thing just went nuts. Did you see the volume that slapped that thing? It was all right there. All right there. That was wild. Sellers pressuring back down again. It's staying very low weighted, and we're coming into the final 8 minutes. 7 minutes. Strong bear bar might get sellers trying to get a breakout going. Short sellers will be looking for a flush underneath this bear bar. There's a buyer resting just underneath this area, which makes it really awkward. But if it closes nice and heavy, we'll probably get that breakdown move. Okay, well, I mean, it happened all at once. Big bear bar flush to the down. I mean, that was the flush I was looking for. I missed it. It's just plain as simple. I missed that one. That one went too fast. It hit. I had the area, and it was just gone. Well, nice flush to the downside if you were quick enough. See if you can wrap these last few minutes up and rock and roll. Pretty strong bear bar back down again. Maybe a trap on the bottom, though. Sellers trying to push down for this final press. Oh man, there is some volume sitting down at 26.25. Lordy, lordy. A nice jump to the upside could be a shortable opportunity on more of a washout. Nobody's really stepping up to the plate. It's kind of grinding its way down. Big bear bar closing on its lows. Big bear bar closing on its lows is a reason for me to look for a short and see if we can get a breakdown a little bit further. Why did it do an ATM? I want to see a flush back through the 25s. Strong bull bar back up. I'm going to jump out of 1 here. I don't like the way that this is pulling back. This, at least based on where my average is. I still like the short. That's a really nice bear bar, and I'm willing to re-short into that. Sure, I like that. Very dependent on how this candle closes here, because that could just be a late candle flush. And a lot of times when it's a late candle flush like that, I'm going to jump out of the way. A lot of times it ends up being a massive trap. If this rolls back over, I'll be interested in re-shorting with a little bit more aggression. But whenever you have that situation where sellers finally jump back in again, it does a quick flush for like a scalp and that's it, and then fails back up, that's a huge problem because those sellers are in heat now. Or in under heat? In, you know what I mean? Under pressure. Really strong 3 bull bar sequence. Looking for a continuation to the upside. It's still buying high, so I'm going to have to stay in with smaller size so far, but I like this area for potential jump up to the 40s. Got about a minute and a half until we wrap it up for the day. I want a good jump up towards those 40s. I'll jump out there. Nice continuation push towards the 40s. We've got 1 minute left. Whoa. Of course, right after I jump out. Oh, man. All right, well, I'm going to stay out of the way. This last minute's probably just going to be nasty, but that's going to do it. Like we always say going into the weekend, hopefully you have a great weekend. Rest up. There's a lot of craziness this week, and this by no means was an easy week. So make sure to take some time over the weekend, get some rest so you can come back on Monday ready to rock and roll. Have a great weekend. Enjoy, and we will see you all on Monday, all right? Have a good one. We'll talk to y'all later. Thanks. Bye.